Good morning, children. Today we are moving to a new chapter in biology, chapter number 8, cell structure and functions. Okay, so in this chapter, you would learn about what is a cell, what are its structures, and the various functions of its structure. So, first tell me, what is a cell? Is it the electric cell which we use for our electric appliances like battery? Is it a mobile phone? No, right? The cell is the building block of all living organisms. So, how do we construct a building? We need bricks, cement, steel, iron, water, concrete, right? So, we want the bricks to build the building. Like how the bricks will be kept one by one on the top of the building gets its height. Similar way, the cells are the building blocks of an organism. Right from the birth of a baby to the growth of a man, the cell grows. Only with the growth of the cell, the changes are noticed. So they are the basic structural units of an organ. So each and every organ, eye, ear, stomach, heart, brain, everything, all the organs are made up of cells in the human body. Not only to the human body, to all the living organisms. Okay, be it a animal or be it a plant, it is made up of cell. Understand? Then the cell was first identified by Robert Hooke in the year 1665. Imagine 1665 itself he found about the cell. How did he find it is, he took the cork. Cork is nothing but the bark of a tree, a small piece of a cork, and viewed it through a microscope. Okay, the cell is not visible to the naked eye. It is a very tiny structure, like how the microorganisms are. It can be viewed only through the microscope. So he took the cork and viewed it through the microscope. Understand that cork is the bark of a tree, not the shuttlecock which you used to play. Okay, so when he viewed it through the microscope, he saw the image, that is the cork has some structures like honeycomb. Okay, there was some structures like this. When he viewed it through the microscope, he was wondering, what is this inside the cork? There is some honeycomb structures. And when he viewed it again and again, he came to know that no, they are not honeycombs, not in the structure of like a honeycomb. It is just like a box. Okay, each box has a inner lining, so that we can differentiate each nearby boxes, and he came to know that they are the building blocks, that is the basic structural units of all the organisms, and he coined the term cell for those. Okay, so cork is a bark of a tree. Even the plants are made up of cells. Okay, all the living organisms are made up of cells. So when he viewed it through the microscope, he first imagined those boxes as honeycomb structure. And then after viewing again and again, he came to know that they are not in the shape of a honeycomb. They are boxes which are very near to each other. And again when zoomed, he came to know that each box has an inner lining. Okay, so that we can easily differentiate from the nearby cells. So he was the first person who coined the term cell. He brought the term cell to the whole world. Then, after this discovery, about 150 years, okay, from 1665, after that, for 150 years, no one got another new idea regarding cells. People until that they believed only that all the living organisms are made up of cells. How will the cell be? What are its structure and its functions? Nothing was known for the next 150 years, because there was no improvised microscopes to have a detailed analysis about it. And then step by step many inventions came on, and by now we know a lot about the cell. Okay, so usually the cells will be not visible to us because of its very tiny size. We have to see it only through the microscope. In the microscope we can use some dyes, okay, dye in the sense a staining dye, color dye, for the cells to look colorful and to view it easily. Instead of having a black and white picture, we can use the color dyes for so that the cells are visible. I think you could have seen this in your biology lab under a microscope, that when we keep a slide, the microorganisms present in it would be visible if there is some color dyeing in it, right? In the last year when we took you to the biology lab, you have seen this. How does a microscope shows the image of a slide? Next we are going to see some basics about the cell. How many cells are present in an organism? How do we know that? So initially, that is when the egg is formed for the young one, the number of cell grown is 1. Okay, so a hen's egg is one-celled organism. We know the egg which we eat, right? Hen's egg. That is a one-celled organism. We human beings have trillions of cells in the body. Now you may get a doubt, ma'am, how can the egg be one and the human body has trillion cells? How is it possible? Inside the cell also an organism is there, no? I mean, inside the egg also there is one organism. A chick will be present, right? Your doubt is correct. Always remember that the egg, which is the starting stage of an organism, will be single celled. From that single cell means one cell alone will be present. From that single cell only it starts to multiply into numerous amount of cells, and when a group of cells are formed, we call it as tissue. Okay, when the group of cells are formed, it is called tissue, and it starts to grow into an each organ. Like how a baby is formed, first after fertilization the egg will be formed, right? The egg is nothing but a group of cells only. Then slowly the organs come out, like hand, legs, eyes, ears, mouth, heart, everything starts to grow slowly. So that is why for a baby to birth, it took 10 months of time, right? So this 10 months is for the development of cells. And then once the baby is born, does the growth stop there itself? No, right? It starts to grow slowly and then enters the schooling, then finish off the schooling, college, and then grows into a man, and then it enters into the old age. Right? So in all the stages of growth, the cells keep on growing. That is why the count of cells increases. Initially, when it is in the egg stage, only one cell will be there. When it starts growing, the cells count will increase. So normally in the human body, it is about 3 trillion cells present. So when it is one cell, we call such organism as single-celled organism, and when it is of more cells, we call it as multicellular organism. Okay, so we human beings are multicellular organism. Hence, egg is single-cellular organism. Also, in the microorganism chapter, we learned that even the microorganisms are celled organisms. Multicellular organisms we saw, as well as single cell microorganisms we saw. Right? Do you remember which is a single cellular microorganism? Amoeba and paramecium. This we discussed in the introduction part of the biology chapter number 2, microorganisms. Hope you remember that, children. The next thing which we are going to see is shape of the cell. What is the shape of the cell? We saw first itself that it will look like a box. Is it the correct way? This was just coined by Robert Hooke before, in the year 1665. But now we have done detailed analysis and came to know that the cells may be present in the form of a round or spherical or elongated or cylindrical shapes also. Okay, so the shape of the cell can be in the form of a round shape, spherical shape, elongated shape or cylindrical shape also. Some cells may be long, some cells may be small in size. Okay, long in the sense like elongated or a small cell also. Okay, so here coming to talk about your single-celled microorganism amoeba. Amoeba is a single-celled microorganism. It has only one cell in it. Does it perform all the functions of the living organisms do by one cell? We human body have trillions of cells to do various activities like walking, eating, drinking, writing, learning, reading, hearing, seeing. Yes. Similar way, amoeba has only one cell. Can it do its all the functions like so amoeba is not going to learn and write and get degree and all, but its main important work is to get food. Does that amoeba do it with single cell? Yes. In irrespective of the number of cells, okay, all the living organism, whether it is a single celled or multi-celled, it will perform its respective functions. You have learnt in grade 7 itself that the digestion happens in amoeba, right? It injects, it captures the food and digests it, as well as ejects the food waste outside. Though it is a single celled organism, its function is done. So we do not necessary to worry about the number of cells. The living organisms will perform their function irrespective of the number of cells. Okay, so how does the amoeba digest the food? How does it captures the food first of all? Does the amoeba moves? Actually, amoeba does not move. It has a layer called pseudopodia, which means pseudo means false, podia means feet. So false feet. The pseudopodia is an irregular structure which keeps on changing its shape, like having projections. So it appears like moving. It actually does not move. The projections, that is the pseudopodia layer, appears to move. Okay, so when it keeps on changing, it has the ability to capture the food, digest it, as well as to eject it outside. Okay, so the pseudopodia will capture the food and the food vacuoles present in the amoeba would digest it, and it again ejects the absorbed food, the food waste. So try to understand here, irrespective of the number of cells, the living organisms will perform their respective functions. The next one we are going to see is the size of the cell. So we saw the shape, then the size of the cell. As I told you already in the starting itself that the cells cannot be seen by the naked eye since they are very small, too tiny to see by the naked eye. We have to view it only with the help of microscope. So let us see in what size it is actually present. We saw the microorganisms are present in the nanometers, 10 power minus 9. Your cells are also small in size. They are present as millionth of a meter. Millionth of a meter means how many zeros a million has? 10 power minus 6 meter. So 10 power minus 6 meter is nothing but your micrometer. Not millimeter children, micrometer. So only it is 10 power minus 6. The usual unit in which we call the size of the cell is micron, not neuron. Neuron is the nerve cell. Don't confuse that. This is the unit of the size of the cell. Micron. Micron means 10 power minus 6. Imagine how small it is. 10 power minus 6. Then the smallest cell is the bacterial cell, which is about zero point 0.1 to 0.5 micron. Already micron itself 10 power minus 6. And again in that unit 0.1 it seems. So think how small it is. So the smallest cell is nothing but the bacterial cell, about 0.1 to 0.5 micron. And the largest cell is the ostrich egg. As I told you already, egg also has the cell. The ostrich egg is the largest cell, which is about 170 millimeter into 130 millimeter. Okay, millimeter means it's somewhat a bigger unit compared to micron, 10 power minus 3. Okay, then you should know a very important point here, that the size of the cell has no relation with the size of the body. Okay, so an elephant is there. Elephant is big in size compared to the other living organisms. So does it mean that the cells present in the elephant will be of huge size? No. Though it is a bigger organism, its size of the cell has no relation with the body size. We humans are also comparatively big in size compared to the goat, hen. Okay. Does it mean that the cells present in the human body is large in size than the hen's egg cell size? No. So always remember that the size of the body has no relation with the size of the cell. Okay children, so with this we can stop. The remaining we can continue in the next class. Thank you children.